is something weird about the human brain. The less you know about something, the more confident you tend to feel about it. And the more you actually learn, the more you start to doubt yourself. This is not a personality flaw. It is a documented psychological phenomenon, and almost every single person on Earth has fallen for it. It is called the Dunning-Kruger Effect, and once you understand it, you will start seeing it absolutely everywhere. In 1995, a man named MacArthur Wheeler robbed two banks in Pittsburgh in broad daylight with no disguise. When police showed him the surveillance footage afterward, he was genuinely shocked. Wheeler truly believed, that rubbing lemon juice on his face would make him invisible to cameras. He had heard that lemon juice could be used as invisible ink, and he just assumed the same logic applied to his face. He was not lying. He was not joking. He just had no idea how wrong he was. And that case caught the attention of two psychologists named David Dunning and Justin Kruger. Dunning and Kruger ran a series of experiments at Cornell University in 1999. They tested students on logic, grammar, and humor, then asked each student to estimate how well they performed compared with everyone else. The results were not great for humanity. The students who scored in the bottom 25% thought they had scored around the top 40%. They were not just wrong, they were confidently, wildly wrong. Dunning and Kruger found that knowledge and confidence do not rise together in a neat straight line. They rise, then crash, then slowly climb back up. Stage 1. You learn a tiny bit about something, and suddenly you feel like an expert. This is often called Mount Stupid, the peak of, I totally get this. Stage 2. You learn more, and you realize how little you actually knew. Your confidence falls into the valley of despair, and a lot of people stop there. Stage 3. You keep going. Slowly, your confidence rebuilds, but this time it is grounded in actual understanding. The difference between the first peak and the later climb is important. The first peak is fast, exciting, and effortless. The later confidence takes time, humility, and repeated contact with reality. Think about learning to cook. In week 1, you make pasta, and it does not kill anyone. So suddenly, you are mentally planning your restaurant. 6 months later, you have burned enough food to realize there is an entire universe of technique you did not know existed. 5 years in, you may be genuinely good, but you also know exactly how much you still do not know. That is the core problem, metacognition, or your ability to think about your own thinking. Beginners are often bad at judging what they do not know because they do not know enough to see the missing pieces yet. You have seen this play out everywhere. Someone watches one 12-minute video about investing and starts giving financial advice to their family. Someone reads one article about nutrition and suddenly knows more than their doctor. Someone plays a video game for 1 week and thinks they could coach professionals. None of these people are necessarily stupid. They are just at the top of Mount Stupid, where the view feels amazing and the drop is not visible yet. And here is the uncomfortable part. We all do this. In every subject we have not mastered yet, there is probably something where we are much more confident than we should be. The question is, which thing? Now, here is the part most people miss. The Dunning-Kruger effect does not only affect beginners. Dunning and Kruger also found the opposite pattern in highly skilled people. Experts often underestimate themselves. Why? Because the things that are difficult for beginners have become automatic for them. So they assume everyone else finds those things easy too. This is related to the curse of knowledge, and it is one reason brilliant people can sometimes be confusing teachers. They have forgotten that what now seems obvious to them was once completely invisible. So how do you avoid getting stuck at the top of Mount Stupid? First, actively look for what you do not know. The best learners go hunting for their own blind spots. Ask yourself, what would someone who understands this better say about my view? Second, find people who are genuinely expert and listen more than you talk. Real expertise often comes with qualifiers. It depends, in most cases, or the evidence suggests. If someone sounds completely certain about a complex topic, that may actually be a warning sign. Third, test your knowledge against reality, not against your own confidence. The chef who thinks they are good cooks for strangers. The writer who thinks they are good shows their work to editors. Reality is a much more honest grader than confidence. MacArthur Wheeler, the lemon juice bank robber, was not just a ridiculous story. He had a gap in his knowledge that he could not see, because the skill needed to know he was wrong was the exact skill he was missing. That is the trap. The good news is that knowing about the Dunning-Kruger effect puts you slightly ahead. Not immune to it, nobody is, but aware enough to pause the next time you are absolutely certain about something and ask yourself, am I standing on Mount Stupid right now? Most of the time, the honest answer is at least a little bit yes, and that is actually a great place to start. Subscribe for more weird brain stuff, and keep asking the one question confident people forget to ask. What am I missing?